with you some of the lessons we learned and the way we saved some money. In 2002, my husband bought a really old house that was built in the 1950s. It was a good area, so he liked it. Everything was still in the original form, and it looked so old, it looked so dated. The owner had done some additions without even obtaining the permit, and it wasn't done properly. My husband and I thought about remodeling the house, so we talked about it. We talked about how much we can afford and how we wanted to do it. Since the house was small, we planned to add some additions. The first thing we did was hired someone who can draw the plan for us, and so we can get a quote and have an idea how much is it going to cost. As soon as we had the plan, we called some general contractors, and to our surprise, even the lowest price we got was way, way over our budget. It was 50% more than we planned to spend. There was no way we can afford it, so we had to find some other ways. We thought of just selling the house, buy one that didn't need a lot of work. But that time prices were going up very quickly, and it looked like we would be better off staying in the house and renovating it. After we got married in 2004, right after our honeymoon, which I wouldn't recommend people to do it, we spent a lot of time planning and working on the house. After we learned that we couldn't even afford to hire a general contractor, we decided to do a lot of work ourselves, which it was a scary decision for someone who didn't have any experience in construction. We renovated part of the house that didn't need to be torn down, which included 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The 2 bedrooms didn't need a lot of work. We just cleaned and painted them and changed the windows. And we used that as our storage area when the other part of the house was being renovated. We did most of the work, except for the plumbing and electrical. It was a lot of work. It was tiring, especially when you are working full-time. But we saved a lot of money on that part of the house. On top of that, we were busy contacting other contractors for the work needed for the other part of the house. And we called at least 3 contractors for each work needed, and we were amazed how much they differed in prices. It wasn't like 10 to 20% difference, but it ranges from 50% to 100%. Of course, we always wanted to hire someone with a lower price, but we want to make sure that we hire the right people and they have the right license to do the work. So my husband interviewed all of them to get a feel of the contractor's work. In April 2005, after we've done the other part of the house and after we lined up every contractors, and we started the work on the other half, we moved to an apartment for a few months. And it wasn't an easy job to act as a general contractor, especially you have a full-time job. But in our case, we didn't have an option. We have to do it so we can afford it. I hope one of the major problems that we had after lining up everyone, we had one contractor that backed out, and that was really a big problem. We have to act quickly to get the resolution, to hire someone, and it ended up a lot of money. But I hope I have more time to share with you some of how we handled every single problem that we come across along the way. But one thing I can say is we did it, and it's done. And one of the most important things was our marriage survived. During that time, we had a lot of disagreements, and we quickly learned the art of compromise. We made some mistakes, but I want to share with you some of the things we learned and some of the ways we saved some money. First, asking for a recommendation from friends and coworkers who had done the job on their homes really helped us a lot of time. It really helped us save a lot of time. Second, by comparing prices from different contractors and comparing the prices of the different materials, we also save a lot of money. We usually go to the local stores to check the prices, and I found out that the materials you can order online usually it was half of the price that we can get from the store locally, half of the lowest price. And third, by being organized and having everything documented, really also helped us a lot of time. We can easily see if we were going over budget, because I documented every single penny that we were spending with, whether it was unexpected or expected expenses. So it saved us a lot of time. When we needed some information, we can easily retrieve them. And number 4, this was one of the biggest mistakes that we had. We didn't have a backup plan when someone backed out, and we ended up paying more money. So all in all, it was a good experience. It was a lot of work. It was so tiring, but right now we are enjoying the fruit of our labor.